area of a circle. So the area of a circle is going to be, for the formula, it's going to be pi, right? And pi is going to be this number that's 3.14, and then it continues. So you can either use the pi button on your calculator, or you can go ahead and use this number. And it should work in WallMap to accept both those answers. If it doesn't, please, 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 please check with your instructor to make sure it got programmed correctly. Because there are mistakes, and so I just want you to know, if you find a mistake, let them know. So we have area, which is equal to pi times r squared. And what's r? Right? Well, r is just the radius. So we're going to square radius and then multiply it by pi. And that's the area of a circle. So let's look at an example. So example 1. The cylinder's diameter is 4 inches. Let's find the area of the top of the cylinder. So we're looking at, right, the whole area all around, right, this whole thing. So if we know the diameter is 4 inches, and we need to know what the radius is. So the radius is just going to be half, right? It's just half of the diameter. Rather than the full thing, it's going to be half. So 4 divided by 2 is just 2 inches. So for our area, we're going to go pi, and then 2 squared. Right, this 2 comes from the radius, and this is just squared, because we square the radius. So let's get our calculators out. So we're going to go 2, and then we're going to do this x to the y power, and then we're going to say we want it to the second power. So 2 times, right, 2 to that square root. 2 raised to the power of 2, or, right, if you square it, 2 times 2 is going to be 4. Then we're going to go times this pi button, right? And it gets us all these numbers, which sometimes we just go 3.14, and you can do either one. And it gets us to 12.56. We're just going to round it to the nearest hundredth, so it's going to be 57. And this is inches squared. And that would be our area. So let's look at our second example. Example 2. The gasoline's tank's diameter is 10 inches. What is the area? So once again, we have the full diameter there. We need to cut it in half to get the radius. So, right, area pi r squared. So we can keep it as pi. And then we have 10, but we divide it by 2, so it's just 5 is the radius. So 5 squared. So how do we get to our answer? So we're going to go 5. We're going to do this button, right, to the second power, which is really just saying we have 2 copies of 5, we're multiplying them together, so we have 5 times 5, so that's 25, times, rather than doing pi, let's just go, or let's do pi here, and we're going to get 78.54 inches squared. But what if we went 3.14 times 5 squared? What if we tried it this way? Well, let's get our calculators out. So we have 25, because pi times 5 is 25, times 3.14, and we get 78.5. So you can see how similar these answers are. They might differ by the decimal, but very small amount. So you can use either one. So you can use 3.14, or you can use the pi button.